Did you cry?
I cried one time.
Okay, why?
But I didn't let nobody see me cry. I cried in a place.
He cried in the corner.
Motivation and ambition is what got me far in life. There's only two ways out the struggle. Either you crawl or you fly. I'm talking titles, deeds, ownership. I'm not impressing, I'm investing. Now, that's ownership. Shout out to Nipsey's hustle. Now, we can all have ownership. Now that's ownership.
The only ether I know is when Nas was talking about Jay.
Right.
That's the only ether I know. It's crazy though, like non-fungible tokens, and then I don't know why the heck they named it that, but
Right.
then it's like, okay, you can take your art or whatever it is, whatever you want to, take a Cheeto if you want.
Yeah.
Then you turn it into basically a digital piece. You mint it is what they call it. And then you can sell that. Then I know if somebody else that you sold it to then winds up selling it later, you still get a portion of that sale from here on out.
Yeah.
So it's crazy because that, but then you start talking about gas fees and other stuff like that. I need to look up. And I met a guy, he's from Dubai.
Wow.
Speak like 4 languages, like he done been all over the world and stuff. And I met him, so I actually want to get him on a podcast because he know a lot about that joint. Like I overheard a conversation he was having on the phone with somebody. I ain't know him, and I'm just like, yo, bro. So I started asking him a couple questions. I'm like, man, let me get your info, bro. So I need to learn more about this NFT stuff. We can chop this up.
Yeah, they got so many ways to make money.
Right.
And the NFT game, I think, especially for artists, it's changed the game because you can keep your original.
Right.
Or you can sell this digital original.
Right.
And like you said, you can continue making money off of it. Like,
it's crazy. One of my friends was talking the other day, and she was like, I'm old school. Like, if I want some art, then I want the piece. And I'm like, yeah, me too.
Right.
I'm like, but then we got to think about, at one point in time, somebody was saying, yo, like, I don't want to ride in a car. I want to ride on my bicycle. You know what I mean? Or I don't want to ride in the back seat. I want to drive.
Right.
And so I'm like, everything is, because of technology, is just moving and moving and moving. So we got to try to understand where it's, because it's already going there. So we can't really, we can lag behind, but then we miss certain opportunities because we are behind. Yeah. So it's I don't know, man. It's real interesting. I know I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast the other day. He had Dave Chappelle and Ashley Larry up there.
Okay.
And they was talking about, and I got to look the joint up, but Audi done made a car where the headlights are drones and they come off, literally come off the car while you're driving, and then they go a little bit further ahead and they shine the light on the road for you.
Wow. That's dope.
I'm like,
that's dope.
I'm like, yo, we in the next 20 years, we about to see some stuff, bro. I think we about to see some stuff.
Yeah, man. I finally gave in and hopped on the TikTok wave.
Okay.
So at first, I'm like, nah, the Chinese is not gonna get my information and all this stuff.
They already got it.
They already got you. They had you for the last 25 years.
Right.
But I'm on TikTok and I see like you were saying about technology. Technology is really changing. I see people they have whole virtual outfits. They got glasses where they in a room, they in a space, but with the glasses, it's they got a view. They in New York with a view. Man, they got girls coming over. I'm like, what is happening out here?
Have you ever tried on the VR goggles?
Yeah.
The Oculus joints?
I don't know about the Oculus.
The Oculus, those are the ones that Facebook makes. So that's like Oculus, and I think it's one other one that are like the top, like 2.
Yeah.
I went and bought some Oculus joints and watched, I think the first 2 days I had them, there was a live UFC fight on them. So I'm in the kitchen, me and my brother, a couple other people. So I put the joints on, and it's like, when you go into the movie theater and they got all the rooms off on the side with all the joints. So it's basically like you in a movie theater lounge. And they got door number 1, comedy show, door number 2, whatever, door number 3, UFC fight. Right. So boom, you literally like move your joystick or whatever, you walk over, go in there, boom, and it beams you up, Scotty, like whatever. So when you get in there, then you're in the place where the UFC fight. So you walk up and it's literally like, ringside is right there where those bathing suits are. and you standing right here where you got your own avatar, so you know all the picture avatars and stuff all that stuff in there like moves. So if you got the Oculus on and you in Barcelona, I got the Oculus on, I'm in Raleigh, and we both go in there, now we talking to each other. I'm like, yo, what's good, bro? What you been up to? And like you look at each other, it's crazy. But I'm sitting here watching UFC fight, I can see all the lights outside the ring, I can look and see the referee, like all that. Yeah. This world is getting wild, bro.
Yeah, man. I feel like I had to take a step back, especially after COVID. It was kind of like it gave me a chance to take a step back and reassess. I'm trying to catch up to the old world.
Right.
I'm trying to get it.
Right.
I'm in 2021 with a 2013 whip. You know what I'm saying? But it's like people, when you try to finally get that 2021 whip, by the time you get that, they already got flying. They got, you know what I'm saying? They got flying cars now. So it's like the game is.
They do.
So I might as well just,
change with it.
Change with it. I might as well skip all the way ahead. If I'm gonna go big, I might as well go ahead and jump all the way up there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a lot to learn though.
It's a lot, but once you get, I feel like once you get that top portion you're talking about, and you understand the base of that top portion, then you straight at least for a little while. Yeah. Cause then, I mean, NFTs, I didn't know. I heard Gary Vee talking about it. I follow Gary Vee heavy. Yeah. As soon as he started talking about something, I automatically start listening because he been on it for 20 plus years. Yeah. So I'm like, NFTs? I'm like, what Gary Vee talking about now, man? So as I start looking it up, I'm like, dang, then he came out with his whole NFT project for his whole company. He got, what is it, almost like Disney characters, but they're not Disney characters. So he got like empathy elephant, patience panda. So he's like using these words of kindness and things of the nature that he believes in, but he's putting cartoon characters with them. And so he has this whole thing, but it's gonna be like if you have NFTs, like certain NFTs give you a one-on-one with him, or you can play tennis with him, or to get you into a conference he's doing later. So it's all types of stuff. So I'm sitting here now, I'm like, dang, like, what kind of NFT project could I do around Inspired? And so there's just so many, it's like you said, there's so many things to learn, so many layers that, I ain't even thought of, or that we ain't thought of, but they so far ahead, bro. It's just crazy. I think he said he sold like $52 million worth of NFTs in like the first like 2 months or something crazy. Sheesh. And then anytime somebody else sells them joints, then he gets a cut of that forever. Yeah. So it's...
What caught my attention with NFTs was I think one sold for like $1 million.
I believe it.
One sold for $1 million. I was like, oh.
I know the guy who started Twitter, he turned his first tweet into an NFT and then sold that joint for almost $1 million. I do know. I'm like what? Like basically you took a screenshot, if we want to be real, a screenshot, and then sold that joint.
My only thing is I don't understand how can people regulate it, or how can people stop other people from,
because it's on the blockchain.
Let's say I take a picture of this piece of artwork, crop it out,
right,
change a filter on it. I can post this as an NFT and make money off of somebody else's artwork.
But see, that's one thing I gotta research. I know if that person that did this painting already has that as an NFT, then the way everything's set up, it'll notice, all right, nah, you can't do that. That's already in the system. Almost like a social security number. You can't put a second social security number under the same person. But if it's not already, then I don't know, and then there may be some litigation and stuff, because right now Jay-Z and Dame Dash going at it in court over the NFT, because Dame Dash is like, oh, I'm gonna take Rockefeller Reasonable Doubt or whatever and turn it into an NFT. So he was explaining though how he's still the active CEO of Rockefeller Entertainment, and because he wanted to sell his third in the company, then Jay and them was like, nah, bro, like, so it's a whole crazy going on with all this stuff, man.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot,
it is.
man. Because I'm thinking, okay, so what happens when people start sampling NFTs like music? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if they go way back?
Right.
They going through the bins and they found some old artist from like, let's say Louisiana and some little art sale.
Right.
Turn that into an NFT, make some money off of it. You know what I'm saying?
That's one thing. And they gotta have something in place to police that, I'm thinking.
It's so new.
It is.
It's so new.
It is. It's gonna be a lot of changes to it, of course.
Yeah.
I think over the next 5-10 years, because I know Gary Vee was talking about how like he believes that at a certain point later on, I don't know, maybe 10 years from now, everybody's gonna have a public NFT wallet.
Yeah. I think that's what I was saying. Where you walk around with like the virtual reality glasses and you can see what people got pretty much.
Yep.
Like what?
Yep. Because that's what it's going to. Like the way people think, oh, people on social media too much now. Wait until the virtual world really hit and kids are in a virtual world or adults in a virtual world for 10 hours.
That's gonna be crazy.
It is.
You're getting virtually bullied.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna be wild, man. It's gonna be wild. So man, we already chopping it up. As well as the public, the people watching through the camera that's not really watching just yet.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know, man, who do you think you are out here?
Who do I think I am?
Yeah.
Oh man, I was thinking about this on the ride over.
He said you think about a ride over. That's good. Got the wheels turning early.
I was thinking about it, and I couldn't really come to a definite answer. But right now in this moment, I think I'm everything and nothing at the same time.
Explain.
Like I feel like I've lived a lot of different lives.
Okay. And how old are you?
27.
27. You feel a lot of different lives at 27.
I've lived a lot of different lives.
Okay.
From military life to carpentry work to corporate to being an artist to being, to being fun and outgoing and to be reserved and quiet, traveling, I like to immerse myself in different cultures and different cultures of people, especially within the United States and outside the United States.
Which is why you said Barcelona.
I'm trying to get gone. I'm trying to,
Right.
Not in that type of way.
Right. Hey, to each their own, bro.
Hey, man, turn up.
All right.
But at the same time, within myself, it's like all of these different lives is a part of me. It's stuff I like. I like the graffiti world.
Okay.
I like the fine art world.
Right.
I like breakdancing. All these different things. I like it, dance, acting. I like to immerse myself in these different subcultures.
Yeah.
And it's a part of me.
Gotcha.
It's like if I go into that world, I can become a part of it.
Right. What do you think is the biggest part of you right now?
The biggest part of me right now is I'm in transition right now.
Okay.
So I'm currently letting go of a lot of things,
Okay.
And I'm just open to receive what's coming for me, what's next.
Right.
So I really don't know at the moment.
Right.
I'm kind of like emptying all of these lives off. I feel like it's been weighing me down. It's like I've been trying to do too much. So it's kind of like I'm just emptying a lot of it out.
Right.
So if my hand's open, I can be ready to receive some new things.
Closed hand don't get fed either, like Miles, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's interesting because I know, looking from the outside in, I know you as an artist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's funny because different people at different points in your life always know you in different ways.
Right.
So I never knew you in the military, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I never knew you worked corporate. I just know you as, Son of Simba, you know what I mean? Like, let's get it. I remember when you came to Inspired.
Yeah.
And I got the picture and everything where I was just grinning because I'm like, this dude came out to the show. So tell me, about those other lives that I don't know about. Like, so let's start with military. How long were you in the military?
Wasn't in the military very long.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it a bean. I was in college, and I joined while I was in college.
The reserves?
No, I was actually active duty.
Active, okay.
I was on the officer path, so I was gonna go be an officer
Okay.
in the United States Coast Guard.
Gotcha.
It's one of the hardest branches to get into, if not the hardest branch, outside of like, Navy SEALs
Right.
and Army Ranger School and stuff like that. So it was kind of like something my mom had wanted me to do,
Okay.
but once I got in, I thought I was gonna get like this acceptance from my family, my friends, my parents, and it kind of wasn't. So it was like once I got in, it was vague to me. I didn't want to do it. Like,
Was your mom in the military?
nah.
Nah. So why did they want you to go?
I had a cousin who's very successful. He did the same route.
Okay.
It was just like it was a great role model.
Right.
A great way to set yourself up for future events, future things.
So that's what they was looking at. Like, okay, that's
Yeah.
the bar. So
Yeah,
let's steer him that way.
Yeah, let's like go make some money, man. It's hard out here.
Right.
I ain't really believe it. I'm kind of like,
Okay, you thinking life easy.
I'm like, I can go do what I want to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Very optimistic, especially coming out of high school. I'm like, I can go. People are making millions off of YouTube.
Right.
They weren't doing it back then like that.
Like
but
that, yeah, but it was budding.
Yeah, I'm like, I got imagination. I got ideas. Like, I want to invent stuff.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't want to compare myself to Kanye, but Kanye, his thought, the way he thinks.
Yeah, cause I always tell people Kanye always been Kanye.
Kanye always been Kanye.
I remember the first time I heard Kanye was on it was on a mixtape and they did the We Are the Champions joint. And I remember Dame Dash was like, yo, next up we got the producer of the rock. He don't even really rap. And he came in, I'm like, yo, who?
Yeah.
Who is this? But he's always been that very confident,
Yeah.
but in a brash, like, yo, I'm that dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you saying like that's always been your mentality, and coming out of high school, that's kind of how you was looking at the world. Like, yo, I got ideas, I got talent. This is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. But it wasn't like cultivated.
Right, it wasn't focused.
It wasn't focused. It was just like, I know I'm great. I don't even know what. I don't know. I just know I'm meant to do something.
I dig that.
That's gonna shake the world.
I dig that. And so you knew that, but then you said, okay, let me do this to kind of pacify family.
Yeah.
Then you jump in, and you're still in college at the time.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to college at?
North Carolina Central.
Okay, Central. So you at Central, you're in the military, active duty, and then how long did it take you to realize like this ain't really doing what I thought it was gonna do? My family not really looking at it the way I thought they were gonna look at it.
Probably like the first couple months.
Oh wow, really?
No,
quick.
actually, and I ain't gonna put it all on my family.
Okay.
I ain't gonna put it all. I ain't gonna throw my family under the bus. I ain't gonna throw my family under the bus. But I remember graduation day in boot camp. Like, boot camp was probably at that time the hardest thing I've ever done. 3 months like of just
hell
pain. You know what I'm saying? And they yelling at you. The yelling ain't really bothering me, but they're working you out. Right. They have you, man. We worked out. We would do crazy stuff, right? Like we would do this all the time. They would have us in this place called the quarter deck. It was probably about 25 by 25, if that, I don't even know. Probably about this little column.
Okay.
To over here.
Gotcha.
But it was like a hallway that wrapped around.
Right.
And it was like 100 and something people. And they would have us pick up our canteens, pick them up, put them in the air, put them back on the floor, and we'd be yelling the whole time, "Aye, Chief Kane," or "Aye, Chief Hickman." And we would do that for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. The walls are sweating. You breathing in everybody else's breath. Right. It's like 100 degrees.
Everybody got COVID.
Man, we caught something. We caught something in that jump. I forgot what they called it, but it was something that everybody caught through the branches. And I remember getting to graduation day, man. I'm seeing everybody else with their family came out, and I was just there alone. You know what I'm saying? Like my family, like my parents.
And you expecting them to be there, like.
You know what I'm saying? At least show it to the graduate, like.
Right.
And it was just like, I'm seeing everybody with their mom, their dad. I got my mom and my dad, you know what I'm saying? But it was just like, oh, I gotta work or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, oh, all right.
Got you. So how much longer was it before you actually got out? And how do you get out of the military like that?
I really want to say this on camera.
Okay, look, we don't want to get you in trouble.
No, but I'm gonna say this. Basically, I self-sabotaged myself, and I got up out of there.
Understood.
I don't even think I did it on purpose, but when the opportunity arose, it was just kind of like,
it's time to go.
It's time to go.
Gotcha.
It's time to go. And I feel like I do that to a lot of jobs.
Okay.
Or whatever I get. It's like, yeah, I need the money, but at the same time, it's like, I could be
something new.
I could be outside.
Right.
I could be traveling. I could be painting right now.
Right.
And that's just something that always gets me when I get a job. And it's like, I don't know. It's very obvious that I don't like jobs.
Right. Me either. I thank God for the times I had them.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm not a fan of jobs either. Haven't had one in a long time.
Right.
Long time.
Man, what?
So what was it? So what was corporate like? What did you do in corporate?
So that's I'm gonna say corporate was kind of like the military part. So being an OT or an officer trainee,
okay,
it's paperwork. That's
Gotcha.
all they was preparing me to do paperwork and like sit in a cubicle, sit in the office.
Right.
Some jobs, as an officer, you do fun stuff in the Coast Guard, like you could be down in Miami,
Okay.
stopping like the drug traffickers, or you could be a pilot.
Right.
But other than that,
Paper pushing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and as a creative, that's a deterrent all day long.
Not for me.
Dang.
But I am glad I did it because it was kind of like, in a way, I kind of felt like my family thought I was soft.
Okay.
Because I was always an artist.
Right.
And I hadn't played any sports. I hadn't done anything, I guess, masculine like that.
Right.
So me going to the military, it was a way for me to show myself like, nah, y'all, I ain't soft as I thought I was.
Right. So you thought you were soft too?
Yeah, because, you know what I'm saying? Just if enough people tell you something, you might start to believe it a little bit. You might doubt yourself.
Gotcha.
So I hit the military, man. I seen grown men crying over push-ups.
Oh, listen, I believe it. I believe it. Because once you get on that particular level, man, it's crazy how much effort and training goes. Like I almost went into the military, into the reserves coming out of high school. But man, I just kept looking at all the boot camp stuff, and I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna make it, bro. Like at the time, I'm probably like $140.
Yeah.
Come out of high school, skinny. I'm still skinny, but I was even smaller back then. I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm not waking up in the morning running 5 miles with 50 pounds on my back. Yeah. So I ain't gonna say I would have cried, but I probably would have been about there for some of the stuff that I know I've seen anyway.
You might have cried, man.
Did you cry?
I cried one time.
Okay, why?
But I didn't let nobody see me cry. I cried in the place.
He cried in the corner.
I'm gonna tell you what happened. So we went to church.
Okay.
And church was kind of like, even if you didn't believe in God, people would go to church because that's the only place where you can like sleep. They didn't want you to sleep, but that's the only place you can kind of like get some peace and quiet. You can get away from the madness. It was like, that's the only place.
Y'all went to church to sleep, bro. That's funny. But you know, it's crazy, and I'm gonna let you get back to your point. It's crazy because I've never been in that situation in the military or boot camp or anything like that. I would have never thought that, the only place where you could probably get some solace and some silence would be church. I wonder how many Christians got saved just because they happened to wind up being there and stayed awake that day.
I don't know, something happened, man. I don't know. So I did cry that first time in church because it was like the pain, and then the message from Christianity that was being spoken. It was like, bro, I kind of get it.
Right.
I get it. It's like I understood the pain.
Right.
That somebody else, even we ain't get too religious or nothing like that.
Right.
But let's say, even if this dude believed in what he believed in, he was a real dude, he went through this pain, I get it.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, you gotta be willing to die for what you believe in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So after that, man, I cried one time and it was like, y'all ain't breaking me. And that's another thing, man. It was Man, I'm like a revolutionary philosopher.
Okay.
I believe in thoughts, I believe in ideas and the power of all these things. And it was kind of like, I would see how they was breaking some people. You know what I'm saying? Like they would go in and shave their head, and it's like they took your power from you.
Right.
And you allowed that.
Yeah, of course.
But before I went in, I shaved my own head. So it's like I'm already bald.
Right. So you're not taking nothing from me.
You're not taking nothing
to reshave me. I already did it.
Yeah. So that's probably why they ain't.
Did you have locks back then?
Nah, but I had long hair. So.
You had long hair. Was that a process for you to shave your own hair? Like as far as like mentally, emotionally, what like?
Yeah, I kind of prepared. I prepared like some months for it. Like I knew. The whole application process took like a year and some change. So it was like I was preparing from the moment I stepped in college, I went to school for this job.
Okay.
Because it's like requirements. You have to go to a HBCU. You have to do this. You have to do this. You have to meet a lot of criteria just to get into this job. Right. And that's what I was preparing for this since like high school.
Wow. Okay. So you was like, all right, I know this is already gonna happen.
Yeah.
But let me go ahead and get ahead of it.
Yeah.
Mentally, emotionally, all that physically,
yep.
So that I can be prepared by the time I get there.
Yep.
Man, have you always been the type that really like prepared like that, or was that your first like big preparation in life?
That was like my first big preparation. I've been a winger.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I cheated through high school.
Okay.
And still came out with a 3.0. I ain't do no homework. I ain't do nothing in class. I was the guy who provided fun for other people.
Right.
Everybody else, I don't know what everybody else was focused on.
And look, you provided fun, which is value. They provided you answers on the test.
That's what we did. That's
what's up.
Like,
was school hard for you, and then you just like, yo, look, I don't even want to deal with it, or was it just like, this don't really matter like that?
Probably the second one.
The second one.
Like,
yeah.
I always liked school though.
Okay.
Even now, I still like school. I like learning.
Word.
I learn something every day.
I wish I could say that, bro.
Oh man.
I like learning.
Yeah.
But I don't learn something every day. And maybe I need to do more. Like I really like to sit at home, which I don't get to do a lot of anymore. Yeah. And I'll probably get to the point where I'm learning something more regularly now, especially by having conversations with people that I don't know or don't know as well as, family or friends that I grew up with. But I don't learn something every day. And I realized that maybe about 6 months ago, somebody was like, hey, you learn something new every day. And I was like thinking, and I didn't say it out loud, I'm like, I don't think I learn something every day. And so I might need to intentionally make sure I'm learning something every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
So how do you, so you just like, is it like a routine you're in where you?
Kinda. It's a sporadic routine as far as like where I'm gonna be at or how long I'm gonna be there, but it's basically a routine of just me promoting.
Yeah.
That's been nonstop, man, for 3 years now. A little over 3 years. So anything that's dealing with promoting or trying to be a connector, because I like to connect people. So if I know somebody wants a painting, then you're on a list of people, on a short list of people, and I'm be like, yeah, he dope. Or if somebody need a live painter for an event, then okay, boom. Or I was talking with some poets the other day. I got a list of poets. It's somebody, because people hit me up all the time, especially about poets or singers. And I'm like, yeah, bet, here go da 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 da. And so I like to connect people in that way. And so between connecting and promoting, I'm always out. I'm always doing something. I'm at somebody's event. I'm supporting somebody's supporting me, or whatever the case may be. And so that's been my routine. But going back to learning something every day, I don't think I do. Now I think now I'm having more days where I do, but not every day.
It might be more of a subtle thing, like the experience, because experience is
a teacher as well.
Yeah, it's
true.
Because you learn through experience.
Right.
So it might be more of a subtle thing where you're doing it so naturally that you don't even know.
It's quite possible. I'm I got an early takeaway from this one, from this conversation. I'm gonna be more intentional about either learning more every day or pinpointing what I am learning. Because I think if I am learning, but in a subtle way, if I can actually pinpoint that I learned that, then that'll help me on my path a lot faster. Yeah. Which to then in turn to help somebody else. So, all right, that's what's up. You got my brain going already, dope, bro. Man. So you said you went to a HBCU, you went to Central. Yeah. Outside of the military portion, how was going to a HBCU? Because I didn't go to a HBCU.
Word.
My dad was pushing hard for me to go. My aunts, a bunch of my aunts went to A&T, Central. Yeah. But when I was coming out of high school, I was a hooper. And so I wanted to play ball, but I felt like I could play D1. And I could have played at a small D1 school. So I wound up going to Campbell University, one of the whitest schools you could think of. But my mindset coming out, not only just about basketball, was, yo, I don't want to go where all my friends going, 'cause I need to stay out of trouble. Yeah. And so now that I've gotten older, I've realized like, yo, I missed out on what I feel like were some experiences that could have shaped me in a completely different way. So how was going to a HBCU for you?
Man, I'm gonna start off by saying Chicken Wednesday.
Not Chicken Wednesday.
Chicken Wednesday. My first thought would be, it kind of felt like a big high school.
Okay.
It kind of felt like a bigger high school. Like, it didn't really feel, when I first got there, it really didn't feel like as studious as I thought it was gonna be. Okay. I thought it was gonna be like a bunch of smart black kids, like on a different world. Okay. I thought it was gonna be like a different world vibe. And then I can't speak for all HBCUs because each one got the different cultures. Central, it was surprisingly quiet.
Was it?
To me, yeah.
And what year were you at Central? What year did you graduate high school?
From 2011 to 2016. So I kind of seen the culture shift and new kids come in. Right. The younger kids kind of got it lit, but like, I remember first getting there and we had this week of welcome, pretty much a week of just events and parties and talent shows, all type of stuff. It was a lot of talented people at the talent show, like can sing, dance, all kind of crazy stuff, rap. Right. And then when school started, it was like everybody disappeared. Like, where everybody?
There was nobody to really corral everybody to keep everybody engaged.
Yeah.
Why do you think that was?
I don't know, man. The culture, I think the college campuses, they go through waves. Like, sometimes they popping and sometimes they lose the morale or whatever it is. And I think when I got there, Central was kind of like on the down dip and it was coming back up.
Gotcha.
So it was like everybody would go home on the weekends. So the weekends, like the time you think like you can go out.
Party. It was ghost town.
It was ghost town. It was ghost town, bro. The weekends was dead. Wasn't no girls on campus. Right. It was like, what's happening? But it was a chance for me to actually see what I was made of intellectually. So I was like, all right, let me get my work done. Let me not cheat. Cause
he's like, let me not cheat.
Let me not cheat. I mean, I still did Quizlet, from time to time, or my math lab. If y'all know about my math lab. And my whole goal, man, in high school, my mindset was totally different. Right. I was like, I'm gonna have some girls do my homework. I'm gonna have some girls wash my clothes. That's what I was thinking. But I'm like,
I can do some of this.
Yeah, I can do it. It was like I had to learn how to survive myself. Okay. Because people always did stuff for me, or I let people do stuff for me. But how was the experience?
It sounded like it was a letdown a little bit.
That's first year. I'm trying to gauge. All right, let me.
Totality.
In its totality.
Yeah.
Then we went through like a revolutionary phase. Okay. So it's like I grew up being institutionalized by television. Okay. So like watching Disney Channel. Right. And you see the black kids that's on Disney Channel. Mm-hmm. Or, all these different little networks that you watching as a kid growing up. Even BET and how it's not being owned by black people anymore. It's right? Like you awake, and I'm in media class and I'm learning stuff. I'm like, oh, BET ain't black owned? What's going on? So it's kind of like, let me break free from everything that's trying to program me. You know what I'm saying? So I went through a whole Malcolm X phase, had the little Malcolm X glasses.
Okay.
We going to protests, we going to sit-ins, we getting into even school politics, how they want to take away certain things from universities and who's running the universities over the whole UNC system and all this type of stuff.
Right.
So that was dope to be in an environment where I actually met those other black kids and these certain black professors that's having these conversations, like, and even within the faculty of black professors is like, some people just show up to get a check and some people actually there to change students' lives and to plant seeds that's gonna create change leaders in black people.
Do you keep in touch with any of those professors that were about the change?
Yeah, Dr. Rob.
Dr.
Robinson, Dr. Russell Robinson. This dude, he'll be in class, no shoes on, doing handstands.
Word.
He took my brain to places I never thought I could think.
And what subject did he teach?
I think he taught mass communications.
Gotcha.
So it was like media theory.
Okay.
He had us doing grad school level work and didn't even tell us.
Wow. Well, that's smart though.
Yeah.
Because if they tell you, then you're like, oh man, it's harder than what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't tell you and just, hey, this is what the expectation is, then he stretches you even.
Man, what? I'm talking about my brain. And then he even had us compete. I think we did like a debate, some type of debate. We went and debated against white schools, and we actually came out on top.
Wow.
So it was like, I think one of the stereotypes is black schools aren't as smart as white schools, or you'll get a better education if you go to a PWI.
Or go to Yale, or you know what I'm saying, something
exactly.
like that. Yeah.
Man, we went out here to one of these big PWIs. I think it was it might have been UNC or App. Right. It might have been App.
Okay.
Blew them out the water.
Smacked them.
Smacked them. Smacked them.
What were you? What was your? So were you like really good at researching for the debates, or were you just a great debater?
I wasn't even a part of the debates.
Okay.
That was just my class. I ain't go. They went.
Gotcha.
I'm just here to tell the story.
look, you the vet in the locker room that gets everybody ready.
You feel me?
Okay, got you.
Y'all go out there, y'all can be great.
But that's important too though.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have those people in your corner that make you feel like you can do something, if you don't already have that in you, then there's nothing there.
These are facts, man.
Gotcha. Okay.
These are facts. How was it going to a PWI?
So for me, it was, I'm going to say it's contradictory statements. It was regular because I didn't even know what a PWI was back then. I graduated high school in 2001. So and where I come from, racism wasn't even, that was a vocabulary word. So I ain't know nothing about racism. All I knew, the only person that I knew that was racist, we had one of my like really good friends growing up. I remember my aunt told me about his grandfather who had been racist, but over the years he was coming around. But that was a vocabulary word to me until I got to Campbell. And so it was just regular. It was like, okay, here go all the black people. We cool. It's more white people than black people. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna stay out of trouble. I'm about to hoop. You know what I'm saying? We about to get it in, But then toward the end of my stay at Campbell, I was only there I did 2 full years there and left at the beginning of my junior year. That was the first time like I really like encountered what I felt like was racism. I had, long story short, I messed up all my grades, wasn't doing nothing for it. And look, the whole reason I'm trying to go there to stay out of trouble and then I still wasn't doing nothing, which is a whole other story. But messed up all my scholarships, my grant money, everything. So basically coming into my junior year, I needed $10,000 for that semester. And so my dad had taught me about credit, money, how to, you know what I'm saying? So my credit at the time was really, really good.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yo, bet, I'm gonna go get me a personal loan. I ain't, can't not be in school. So I go get a personal loan, take it in there. This guy, I'll never forget it. Big white dude named Quakenbush, last name Quakenbush. He was the finance person. So we go in there, sit down. He was like, yeah, so Curtis, you need, $10,200 and some by Friday. So, how you would like to pay? I was like, I got a personal loan. So I gave him the paperwork. He's like, he reading over it. And, he seeing his face all scrunch up. And he's just like, so how'd you get a personal loan for $10,000? You got a cosigner? I was like, nah, like my dad taught me about credit. Like I'm straight. So he's looking. He's like, well, we can't accept this sort of loan.
Whoa.
And I was like, what? I'm like, bro, it's money. And he was like, nah, we can't accept this loan. And I remember that was the first time where I was like, yo, is it because I'm black, bro? Like, and I had an old beat up 1983 Nissan pickup truck. I had to pull my pickup truck up to the dorm, load that mug up with all my stuff the second week of school, and go home.
Wow.
And so
wow.
It wasn't Quakenbush's fault because I did a lot of things before that to even have me in that position because I shouldn't even have to worry about anything because my grades was good coming out of high school, But that was the first time that I experienced something like that. So then moving forward as I got older and then PWI became like a term and I started understanding what that was and what people went through PWIs, I was like, damn, that was my moment.
Wow.
The Who Do You Think You Are podcast is sponsored by Good Trip Inc. It's a super dope gallery with a super dope artist that owns it. Black owned, 416 South McDowell Street, downtown Raleigh. Y'all come through, check him out. Tell him that SP the Writer sent you.
Owner of Good Trip Tattoo and Art. My passion is creating art, and there's no better feeling than seeing a happy client.
But I keep in touch with a lot of people that I met at Campbell. I met a lot of good people there. I've always cultivated relationships everywhere I went. So it wasn't a bad experience, but if I could do it over, I wouldn't have went there. I wouldn't have went there. I'd have went to, I probably would have wound up going to Livingstone first because I had the opportunity to play ball there, but I was like, nah, I go play D1.
Yeah. But
I probably would have went to Livingstone and then I'd have transferred from there. I don't know where I'd have went from there, but I definitely feel like I missed out by not going to a HBCU.
Oh man. I'm gonna bring it full circle because
Okay.
I did all the dry stuff in the beginning. Now it's time for the fun part, the fun black stuff.
Okay.
But real quick, where you from?
I'm from Maysville, North Carolina, which is right next to Jacksonville, North Carolina, if you know what it is. You know what Campbell June is?
Yeah.
So Campbell June is right Jacksonville.
Okay.
Maysville is like 10 minutes from there. A small one stoplight town.
Wow.
To this day.
And it's white? It's like really white?
You know what? That's a good question. When I was in high school, I felt like it wasn't nothing but black people. But I know a lot of us has moved.
Yeah.
So, and I go there to see family, but I haven't like been out or really looked at what's going on. So I don't know whether it's white or black or not. I know back when I was there, it felt like it was more black, but maybe it was just more the younger kids was black. I don't know.
Yeah, 'cause I know you said you didn't know what racism was.
Yeah, like we had plenty of white classmates, so it wasn't like it was like 90% black. It was like a nice mix, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I would probably say it was probably like maybe 60-40 black.
Okay.
But it like everybody, we was just people.
Yeah.
And I realized like, and not in a bad way, but I was sheltered growing up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like my mom was kind of strict. She wouldn't let me do certain things with certain people, and I'm glad of that because a lot of my friends or people that I was cool with, they been in and out of jail, on and off drugs, things of that nature. So it was cool. But we was all just people, bro. I ain't know nothing about race. I knew about Martin Luther King, you know what I mean, stuff like that. But yo, Miss Vicky, you know what I'm saying? White lady, Miss Vicky gonna hug me and tell me she love me just like she gonna hug her son and tell him. I remember, I forget this teacher's name, white lady, she was like, yo, you gonna be the first black president.
Wow.
Like these were the types of things that I was hearing growing up.
Wow.
So for me, I've never had that confidence issue.
Yeah.
You know, teachers pick, you know, some kids get picked on by teachers, you know, that's just a thing. But if it was a teacher that picked on somebody in class, they picked on the white student just like they did the black student. So it wasn't like, oh, she just picking on Ben, but she not picking on Sarah, you know what I mean? It was like, yo, equal opportunity. I just don't like none of y'all. So it was, my upbringing was way different than what the world actually is.
Yeah.
So yeah, once I got out, man, out of that bubble, I'm like, dang. I remember one of the first DVDs I ever bought was Drumline. And that made me, I was in college at the time, and I'm like, yo, Campbell ain't even have a football team. They did homecoming with a soccer game.
Wow.
So that's when I started realizing early, like, yo, I'm missing out, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I seen Drumline, and I thought that's what college was gonna be like. And it was a lot like that. You ain't gonna finding a girl in college ain't gonna be like that.
And that's what I'm like, yo, I need Zoe Saldana, son. I need a dancer. I need a track star. That's what I'm like, bro. Like, what's good?
Cause the truth.
Okay.
Yeah, the truth about the college girls is like, nah, dog. First message I got from my upperclassmen when I got to Central, they was like, hey, man, don't get no girlfriend out here, bruh. They recycled. I said, what you mean?
Said recycle, huh?
Said we recycle out here. I was like, what?
Man.
And he broke it down.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
So I kind of just did my thing and focused for the most part. You
Okay.
know? But all right, so some of the fun stuff, man. At the time, I ain't even gonna flex. I don't know what's going on with A&T now and G-Ho.
Right.
But like 2013, 14, 15.
On fire.
Man.
It's still one of the best in the nation from what I hear. I've been out there once. It's been some years.
G-Ho going crazy. I know I ain't supposed to talk about A&T because I'm Central.
Central, right.
But look, man, I went to G-Ho the first time and it was just crazy. It was like black people you don't even know, like the tailgating, they out here giving you food, old heads like, hey, you want drinks on? You know what I'm saying? They giving you drinks, man. They it's like fine old ladies. It's like, they sexy. Man, then the party, I mean, of course they gonna be doing shooting. That's the downside.
You're always gonna have one or two.
You gonna have one or two. Yeah. And they don't even be people from the school, it be like from the city, and they come in, they wanna do what they do.
Yeah.
But G-Ho, man, it's people. It was people on the balcony. You walking down the street, man, and it's just like all the apartments right there on A&T. The ones right there, I forgot what they call it. I think they call it the Village.
Okay.
It might be the Village.
You're talking about.
Man, people on the balconies turned up. It's girls in the streets. I ain't never seen so many beautiful black women.
Right.
Man, you go to a party. I went to probably to this day, the best party I've ever been to in my life. It was this lake house party.
That's only because you ain't came to my kickbacks, but go ahead.
I can't even say I ain't heard about the kickbacks.
That's only because you ain't came to the kickback. But, that's another story for another day.
Man, this lake house party, man, it was like, it was black people, it was white people. And then G-Ho, you got UNCG, you got all these other colleges, and everybody go to G-Ho. So you might see anybody, everybody's drunk, everybody's lit.
Right.
And it's just like a good time. This particular party went to the lake house, and it was an actual lake house, like in the middle of some field.
Ain't gotta worry about that.
What? It was dark. And this lake house is probably the size of like a college gym.
Okay.
College basketball gym. And it's so packed, man. You go on a party, you trying to scoot through, and girls think you trying to dance, and you can't even get to your friends. Girls is dancing on you. They grabbing you. They like, man, you talking to people, man, and it was just a beautiful experience. It wasn't no shooting, it wasn't no crime.
Right.
Everybody was just, it wasn't even no girls turning you down, bro. I don't care how ugly or whatever was wrong with you, dog. You supposed to be at that lake house.
Right.
And it was dope.
Let me ask you, so, because while you talking about that, it made me think, why aren't black people like that every day? Why ain't it G-Ho every day? Why ain't it the lake house party every day for us? Because like where we sitting at now, we in a black market.
Right.
And I love what they've done because they just reached out to all these black business owners.
Yeah.
And said, yo, we already did the groundwork. We got a building to put your merchandise in downtown Raleigh. And you can sell your stuff out of here, right? So they got over 80 businesses in here.
Wow.
And that's the type of stuff that I feel like all of us in a way can contribute to. But why isn't it G-Ho every day, bro? What is it about us that says, nah, we can only do this when it's G-Ho or when it's Juneteenth, which is a whole new thing for us?
I don't know, man. But I got some theories.
Okay, give me one.
Self-hate. A lot of black people. I'm gonna use a Kanye verse. The things we buy is to cover up what's inside. And we like flashy stuff because a lot of us don't love ourselves. Not to the core.
Right.
And then a lot of people do love themselves.
Right.
You know, so when you get that, and you put both of that together, now you got haters. Now you got somebody that want to come shoot up the club or they want to come and shoot up, or they want to fight because this person has that genuine love for themselves. Whoop-de-woo. Excuses.
True.
A lot of excuses. Like I said, I just want to have fun every day.
Right.
If I could have fun every single day, and like that, I need to create a job where I can just make stuff fun. Somebody pay for it, and I just figure it out.
Right.
I turn it. I go out there and take my shirt off and paint, and we gonna get lit.
Right. Are you an excuse maker?
Am I not? Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah, I make excuses.
Why?
Just because I don't like doing the work. Because I'm lazy. Lazy. But I'm gonna admit it though. So I'm trying to get through it.
Working
you know what
on
I'm
it,
saying?
yeah.
Because it's like some stuff. I wish I didn't. I wish it won't that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I wish I won't lazy. I wish I could just be on time all the time.
Right.
I wish I could just be punctual and do what I say I'm gonna do. But that takes hard work. That takes discipline.
It does. It does. I'm lazy too at heart. People don't believe it because they see me all over, but I can get in that mode where I'm like, all right, I ain't doing nothing, don't want to do nothing, ain't gonna do nothing, don't care if anything gets done.
Right.
And that's what I would rather actually do. But if I know something got to be done, like if I know I got a goal, and I'm not gonna allow my laziness to stop me from reaching that goal. Or if I don't reach that goal, it won't be because I was being lazy. So I've had that revelation, and I guess that it's crazy. Like I knew we had an age gap, but our age gap is 11 years. I'm 38.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So when I was 27, I was realizing those things about myself too. Now I always knew I had the potential not to be lazy because I hoop.
Yeah.
And I was really serious about hooping. And I wasn't lazy in basketball at all.
Yeah.
But when it came to a lot of other things, it's like, man, I'm good. But what I realized, like you said, like you want to do something where you have fun every day. And so those things that weren't fun for me, it was just like, whatever. And I feel like a lot of people live their lives like that, man. They doing something that they ain't passionate about.
Yeah.
And when you're not passionate, you're not gonna put forth but so much effort.
Yeah. I don't even know if it's possible. I ain't gonna say if it's impossible. I think everything's possible.
Right.
But it's hard.
I think you can be productive, but to be fully engaged is probably damn near impossible if you're not passionate about what you're doing.
Facts.
Cause you got people that go, they go to jobs or shoot, for real, some people are entrepreneurs in certain areas that they're not passionate about, and they struggle in that because they're not even passionate about that.
You just doing it because it look good.
Right.
You know?
And
It sound good.
And that's another thing, man, with with us, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, that we do a lot of things sometimes that just looks good or sounds good, and I think it's to our detriment a lot. It's crazy, man. I just been really trying to figure out the unlock for people that aren't necessarily mentally where they want to be, where they should be, how they should be. Like, what can I do? What can I tell this person? How can I inspire this person to make sure that they say, Dad, let me, like earlier when you made me think about the fact that, like, yo, like, I don't, because I thought about it before, but then I'm revisiting it while you're talking, like, Dad, I don't learn nothing every day. But then you spin it like, well, maybe you do, but it's subtle. So then I'm like, yo, how can I do that for other people to make them think about something for the first time or for the 18th time, but in a different way that actually, like, where they can grab hold of it. But I want to also not just impart that on other people, but then for them to then do it for somebody else.
Reach one, teach one.
Yeah, okay. and my one of my girlfriends in college, she always said, each one, teach one. And I remember she used to say that all the time. And I man, back then I was so, like I said, ignorant to a lot of things. I'm like, yo, why you keep saying that, bro? Like, what each one, teach one? What are you talking about? But she was on like this spiritual journey at the time. And I didn't understand it until much later in life, like probably my late 20s. I'm like, ooh, that's what she was talking about. But everybody, each one don't teach one though.
They don't.
What do we do, man? How do we get people there?
I think you got to be yourself.
Be yourself.
I think earlier, I was just being me. I was just speaking my truth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're all different. We're all unique. We all have these different perceptions and these different lenses, and we see life differently. Yeah. Even if it's the same thing, we in the same room, you seeing it from a different angle than I'm seeing this T-shirt. You know what I'm saying? So I think if we continue to be fake or we continue to be products of somebody else's suggested thoughts,
right,
then that's all you're gonna be. You're just gonna be like a robot, like a vessel. You out here. Oh man, let me get on this real quick. And I feel like this is what I was doing when I was trying to appeal to black people early in my art game.
Okay. Black
people like stuff because of clout.
Clout chases.
Y'all, I said it. A lot of black people like stuff because of clout.
Right.
Who you took a picture with. Oh, he must be legit because he took a picture with so-and-so.
Such and such.
And that actually started me out in the art game, you know, just taking pictures with people, just getting paintings to people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of our culture, we do stuff without knowing why we do stuff.
Right.
We buy stuff without knowing why we buy it. We drink it like in the hood. If they got a 40, a gun shop and pawn shop, a cash checking place, nobody asks no questions. Like nobody in that place can see further than or see the hand that's putting the stuff here.
Right.
They putting the stuff here to kill y'all.
Right.
To kill each other.
Yeah, it's a reason.
You know what I'm saying? If everybody in the hood that's in these communities that got liquor stores stop drinking alcohol, they went on a fast, stop drinking alcohol, the crime will go down.
This is true.
That store will probably go out of business.
Right.
And then they got to implement something else. They probably throw some crack cocaine in there or something.
Right.
Who knows, you know? But
or the people that stop drinking then get together and say, let's pool our money together and put a grocery store here.
Yeah. When that liquor store go out of business, let's buy that liquor store.
Right.
And put up a Black Friday.
Right.
Market.
We got a long way to go, man.
Yeah, man. And it's always levels. It's always levels to it. And I think people that's in our position who have broken out of the mental slavery to an extent.
Right.
We do need to do more stuff. Like we need to be linking and partying all the time.
Right.
Like everybody, I done seen about 25, 30 people that came by here trying to get up in the store.
Right.
You know,
and it's closed.
They want to get in.
Right.
We like, not today.
Not today, right.
And you know, like Yeah. I'm still thinking about the question, like, why we not partying? Why we not
Why it
doing
ain't G-Ho all the time?
all the time? I ask myself the same question, like.
I never really thought about it in that particular sense until we were having this discussion, but it does make sense. Like, yo, we so disconnected, or if it is G-Ho in a sense, then you still got segments. Maybe the women ain't vibing with the other women because they catty, you know what I'm saying? Or somebody now talk with somebody else's boyfriend, or these two dudes beefing because, you know, they worry about who watch better, this and that. And it's like, yo, we all here, bro. Like, let's just have fun.
Yeah.
Let's have fun and build from a mental perspective, so that then we can build on a financial perspective, and then we can share that with the kids, man. And then they come up and they're a lot better off than what we were.
Yeah.
It's definitely, we always say, you know, you got to have those conversations, you know.
Yeah.
But if the action isn't behind it, then it's just a conversation.
Just a conversation.
Just a conversation. You said that when you got in the art game, you were trying to appease black people. So you were, in a sense, you were kind of chasing clout in a way. Is that what you were saying, or am I misconstruing that?
Was I chasing clout?
Yeah, like when you talking about taking pictures with certain people, things of that nature.
Yeah, but it was strategic.
Right.
It wasn't like I was clout chasing for me, in a sense.
Right, just to be clout chasing.
Yeah, I wasn't just out here clout chasing. It was like, I got to clout chase because if I don't, black people not gonna know me. I probably could have went to school and been quiet and did the underground art scene and got into the white art world and all that stuff.
Right.
But no, I wanted my black people to see that, yo, it's greatness within us.
Right.
I wanted black people to accept me as black. Like, I wanted love from black people, and like, oh yeah. But I also want to show the level of talent that what you can do. I wanted little black kids to see, like, yo, I'm out here painting with 2 hands. Y'all can do this.
Yeah.
Y'all can hoop. Y'all ain't got to just be hoopers too. Y'all ain't got to just be hoopers and rappers. Y'all can be anything you want to be.
Yeah.
Black people, and especially a field like art, it's kind of like, it's always starving artists.
Yeah, that was a term.
It's always, if you're an artist, you gotta be promiscuous, or you sleep around with a lot of women and you do all these different things. And it's like, nah, you can do anything you wanna be. If you like video games, do like these little white kids is doing. I don't even wanna say that. Do what you do.
Right.
On a level, do what you do on a level that makes you money and you can live off of it.
Yeah.
If you like robots, and then that's another thing, like a lot of black kids, and there's some black kids that like geeky stuff. They might like science. They might like robots. They might like.
But if it ain't cool.
But if it ain't cool, it's like the rest, it's like other black, the popular culture might not necessarily accept it as much.
Right.
I think it should be a mix though, because I think those little geeky, nerdy black kids, they need to learn some culture. They don't need to be in the house all the time. They need to go outside and
mix
learn.
It up a little bit.
Yeah, they need to go to cookouts, learn how to talk to people. Little nerdy kid, you going around, you speaking to him, he looking you in your face, and he don't say nothing. Like, nah, you need to go to the cookout.
Right. So but then when they go to the cookout, they need to be accepted at the cookout.
They need to be accepted at the cookout.
Because then as soon as they finally get the courage to go, and then everybody look at them crazy, ain't nobody saying nothing to them, and kind of got them off in the corner somewhere, then they like, nah, that ain't a place for me. Let me go back to the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you what happens at a HBCU. If it's a white girl, a little weird Asian dude, any other culture, they will accept that. They'll accept that little weird dude.
Right.
And they be like, oh, what's up? What's good, bro?
Right.
The whole black school would know this one little weird dude who is being himself unapologetically.
Right.
But if it's a black kid doing that, it's kind of like it's not the same vibe. Like, why we not giving that energy to our black people on the same level?
Man, it's so many layers to that. Like, I just got my mind spinning right now. it's so many, like I know you said like self-hate, you know, not having the confidence,
Man, it's a
you
lot,
know,
man.
that like it's so many layers, and then some people only have one layer to peel through.
Yeah.
But then some people got 5 or 6 or 10 layers to peel through. And unless everybody, like I said, when I grew up, man, small town, like it was like village raised a child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my next door neighbor was also the principal of my school. And she had just as much license to get a hold of me as my mama or my grandma did.
Yeah, that's classic, bro.
So she would get me, then she would put me in her car, take me to my house, and then my mama or my grandma would get me, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like, oh, like now you can't touch nobody's kid. Hell, you can't even touch your own kids, damn near.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a different upbringing for me. And once I got out into the world, I'm like, dang, like it's mad different out here. And then it just continued to be different as I've gotten older.
Yeah.
You got kids?
No kids.
No kids. Undefeated.
Evil laugh.
Undefeated. You want kids?
Yeah, I want kids.
How many?
Man, you don't pop up, you know, just in case they try to hit me with the child support, go and rock 13 on them out, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. You
Drop
want a tribe?
Yeah, I want to try, man. But nah, but seriously though, I be straight with about 3.
3?
About
Okay.
3 or 4, you know, something like that.
That's what's up.
It depends. It also depends on the woman too. Like if it's like if the family's rocking, we real smooth.
Right.
It's like, yo, we might as well build a whole. We might as well drop a legacy out here.
Right.
So my kids, they can take whatever personalities they got. They just gonna be beast mode.
That's it.
Have some kids building some rocket ships. Might have one who like to play football,
Right.
soccer, whatever you want to do.
That's what's up.
You got kids?
I got one.
You got one?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I ain't know.
Yeah, I lost one bout.
Oh man.
Yeah,
He
just
wasn't
one, man.
strong enough.
Yeah, I think I'm one and done though.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm one and done, man.
Why is that?
It's a huge responsibility. One that I don't think I'm wanting to experience again.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I'm always wondering for people who don't have kids if they want kids. Like I was dating this girl one time and she doesn't have kids. She wanted 2.
Yeah.
And we, we was getting kind of serious, and once we had that real conversation about it, I'm like, well, I don't want no more kids, bro. Like, definitely not from scratch. Now, if you come with a couple already, I'm, all right, cool. And she was like, nah, 2, non-negotiable. And I was just like, yo, look, I'll meet you halfway. I don't even want anybody. Yo, we can do 1. She was like, nah, 2, like non-negotiable. And so I just was like, you know what, I'm good. And so we split. We parted ways at that point. We still cool to this day, but yeah, that relationship was over at that point.
Yeah, man, that's tough.
It is tough.
That's tough right there, man.
But I respected not just myself, but I respected her for sticking to what she wanted.
Yeah.
Now, in my mind, I'm like, she don't even know what it is because she ain't even had 1 yet.
Yeah.
Because you may have 1 and be like, oh, now I see what you're talking about. Yeah,
Right.
we good. But at the same time, that ain't everybody's story either. You know what I mean? And so I always respect people's wishes about what they want, whether it's kids or otherwise. But yeah, man, I'm 38, man. I don't feel old, and I'm not old.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, bro, I ain't starting over. My son's 17, bro. If I have any more kids, it's because I was with somebody that already had kids. At least that's how I feel right now anyway.
And that's crazy because I'm not really with that. I'm like, if I do decide to have kids, I'm gonna start from scratch type dude. Like,
Right.
I don't know.
I ain't mad at it. One of my homeboys like that. He ain't got no kids. He won't date women with kids, nothing.
Yeah, I don't
So him and his girl now, she don't have any kids. They both, I think he early 30s. I think he might be like 32, 33, something like that. And she might be, I don't even know if she's 30 yet. She might be like 29. And so he's like, yo, this, I'm about to hang up the cleats, you know what I mean? Like he gonna go ahead, but
wrap it up.
But he gonna, they gonna wind up having kids, you know what I mean? That's what he talk about, legacy, like leaving something behind that's great, with his name. And so I respect it, but
Man, that's another reason I feel like I haven't had kids yet because it's stuff I still got to get up out of me. that I ain't trying to pass on. It's still generational curses I gotta break before I even try to do that.
Like what?
I'm gonna say poverty mindset, one. That's a huge one.
Have you broken that for yourself already?
I'm working on it.
Working on it.
I'm working on it. It's like I'm doing the knowledge, I got the talent, I got the experience, I just gotta do it.
Right.
At this point in the game, I just gotta do it. But it's like, I realized you gotta unlearn a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta unlearn a lot of stuff. Like the way my parents would even talk about money was kind of like, almost in a sense is that it's evil in a sense. Almost like it's evil or it's super hard. You gotta work real hard to get money.
Right.
And everybody who got money ain't working that hard.
The people who got the most money
They not working that hard. So I'm like,
They worked hard at a certain point,
yeah.
but then once those systems were in place, they're like, oh yeah, I'm chilling. And then the money just
Exactly.
But you're right. We think that you gotta bust your butt. You gotta grind all the time, and that ain't it, bro.
That ain't it, man. What's something else? I don't know, man. I just think
That's a big one though.
That's probably the biggest one.
So that's another. And I go back to where you were talking about, the military preparing, how you shaved your head.
Yeah.
Like now you're preparing ahead of time for kids.
Yeah.
Because man, most people, and I don't know about white people, so I ain't gonna use it in general, but I know most black people don't have kids on purpose. It's not on purpose. It's normally an accident.
Right.
You get that call, I think I'm pregnant, I missed my period. And so even that is foreign to black people as a whole to plan to have kids. So I think even having that mindset of like, these are the things I need to make sure I take care of, not just financially, not just whatever, but just from a mental standpoint, before I have kids is a whole nother thing that I don't think most people think about. Because I had my son, he was born the day before I turned 21.
Yeah.
So I was still in college.
Wow.
I was still, thought I was grown until he was born. Then I realized, I'm like, man, I'm still a kid too. You know what I mean? And so it was a whole different type situation, but I wasn't prepared as an adult. I wasn't prepared financially, mentally, physically, none of that. So I think that having that mindset will take you a long way. And so then when you do have kids, then you able to really give them what they need to be whatever the version of the best human they can be.
Right.
So I think that's dope. And
right.
And I've never looked down on somebody who wanted to have a bunch of kids. I just know it ain't for me. But I think that people who have that mindset, let me take care of some stuff, then that makes more sense. I had an aunt and uncle. My aunt, she had their one and only child she had after she was 40. But they was set. And so they've been able to afford her every opportunity for growth, knowledge, whatever, you know what I mean, as she's grown up into her young adulthood. So I think it has its benefits if the parents are on top of their shit. Yeah.
And for men, you can be 80 years old and still rock some kids all you want to.
Right.
So, I mean,
right.
How deep can we get on this podcast?
Yo, we can go as deep as you want, bro.
All right, man, because I want to drop some gems on the black community if you out here. The reason I ain't got no kids, it ain't an accident either.
Right.
How much I want to share out here? All right.
Because I don't edit anything out. I don't edit anything out.
I'm gonna say this. Like I said, always been a learner, man. Since I was in high school, man, I've been out here researching the sex game.
Right.
The sex game, the techniques and all this type of. Anyway, because I know my mom I ain't gonna say my mom, but I had teachers to show me not to have kids at a certain age. So I kind of been like, Yeah, I ain't about to have no crazy baby mama.
Right.
I seen that firsthand. Keying cars, kicking doors down. I'm like, oh, this be crazy. Oh, Lord.
Right.
You know, then raising kids, especially if they got little bad kids. No,
Right.
nah, we ain't doing that. I don't do it. Right. So, I mean, but some things, man, I know some fellas, they got the excuse, oh, yeah, the condom don't fit, oh, I don't like to feel, I can't feel nothing, whoop-de-woo.
Right.
Hey, bro, if you do want to use the pull-out method, it's stuff out here so you don't get these women pregnant, man. You can go out here. It's a guy I seen called Montauk Chia.
Montauk,
M-A-N-T-A-K.
okay.
Old Asian dude, he probably like 70-something.
Okay.
He ain't even really got no gray hair. This dude, he like 30.
Wow.
It's breathing techniques you can use to stop you from blowing your essence inside this woman. You know what I'm saying? It's even man kegels you can do, because sometimes you think you ain't nut, and that little drizzle, because your prostate ain't strong enough, your pelvic floor muscles ain't strong enough. So that's how some of that juice get up out of there. So you can do man kegels, right? So these man kegels, they strengthen your prostate, not your prostate, they strengthen your pelvic floor.
Yep.
And it's pretty much that muscle you use when you're trying to stop yourself from peeing.
Right.
So you can kind of you can do it anywhere. You can be walking down the street and just
flex the muscle, yeah.
Flex the muscle. You can do it like 30 times or do like 50 a day or something like that.
Right.
But that's something to help you flex your muscle. So if you decide to go in there raw dog and live on the edge,
right.
You know what I'm saying? And because I know even some girls, they'll try to get you to do it. They'll hit you with the wraparound.
Right. Cause they know when it's time.
They know what time it is.
They know when it's time.
They know what time it is. And this is not only for just not having kids. This is also for if you want your health.
Right.
Because every time you blow your seed, you losing nutrients, vitamins and minerals.
All of that.
Your life essence, energy, spiritual energy, all that fun stuff.
Right.
But it's also for the woman's pleasure. You know, women don't just like a dude to get in there 5 minutes, be in and out.
This is true.
If you want to be, you know what I'm saying, if you want to be on your game, get in there, get hers first.
Right.
And now you already ahead.
Right. Already ahead.
You already ahead. And now you ain't even got to worry about it. You like.
Cause she good.
She good.
Right.
She good. But that's just a little gem. Y'all can check my man Montauk Chi out. Y'all can learn a whole lot about the women's anatomy.
Right.
Your anatomy. And that's because I think as men, especially black men, we don't really know about our bodies.
Right.
Like, nobody really sat us down and talked and told us, like, yo.
At all.
You can have more than one orgasm.
Right.
One type of orgasm as a man.
Right.
Like, we all think it's just the basic nut. Like, you can do all kind of stuff. Your body can do all kind of stuff, and we don't even know.
Right. What got you into researching, or did you meet Montauk? How'd you get into that?
It was this artist I was following on. So I'm gonna just spill the beans. Why not? I'm in a space where I feel pretty comfortable with myself.
Right.
So I felt like I was addicted to sex.
Okay.
Like, I feel like I had an unhealthy obsession with sex.
Gotcha.
So I was like, all right. And I wanted to better myself. So it was this artist I follow on Instagram named Son.
Okay.
And he was talking about this 21-day semen retention challenge, right?
Semen retention challenge.
Yeah, so no nut, no porn, nothing. You know, a lot of guys, me included, I would at least rock one out myself before I go to sleep. It was kind of like a routine, like boom.
Right.
Or you going out here chasing booty. And I was like, yo, I'm really at a place where I want to elevate myself. Like, I'm tired of, like, I don't feel like the best. I don't feel like the best man I can be.
Right.
So I tried this challenge. You know what I'm saying? By day 15, I'm feeling way different. Like,
physically different?
Physically, mentally, emotionally, my voice getting deeper.
Right.
My skin got bright. I'm telling you, bro, it was crazy. And I'm like, what is?
Wow.
And I lie to you not, bro. And it was like women, when I was on that challenge, it was like women start sliding in my DMs. women was chasing me. I'm on the street, women, you look good. I'm like, oh, this is crazy,
The
dog.
energy. They felt it.
They felt the energy, bro. Day 15, bro, it was like I had superpowers.
That's crazy.
I'm laser focused. Whatever I was doing, by the time, so long story short, I started doing a bunch of those challenges where I would just stop, like,
Cold turkey.
And whatever I did, my intention was in the beginning of that challenge,
Right.
it was gonna manifest at the end.
Okay.
So, you know, it take 21 days to start a new habit.
Create a habit, yep.
And it take, well, I think 3-4 weeks to break a habit. So it take a little bit longer to break one.
Right.
But yeah, that's what got me, but I always been into it, man. It's always been a sexually intrigued kid.
Right.
Ever, as far as back I can remember, man.
Me
I
too,
just,
bro. Before I even knew what it was, I was
you know
doing
what I'm saying?
stuff I ain't had no business doing. Right.
You feel me? And I think a lot of, and that's something else, man. Especially black people, bro. It's like we do it, but we don't talk about it. We don't really have that conversation.
Yeah, I don't ever remember having sex talks with anybody in my family, really. I remember sex education in elementary school, vaguely.
Yeah.
I do remember in middle school when they started talking about sex education, and we, talk about STIs, STDs, stuff like that. But as far as anything else, that was it. I remember my mom had a conversation with me one time that was very short. I got burnt in high school.
Come on now.
And
Yeah.
hey, look, here you got me telling stuff on the podcast. So I got burnt in high school, but I didn't want to tell my mom.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to get from school to the health department without my mom knowing. Hard, especially where I lived at, because everybody know. So I had them call my older brother. I had an older brother that was, I think at the time he was out of high school. He was about 23, 24, and trying to get them to give me permission to leave.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't let him do it. So then I had to call my grandma. And so she gave him permission, but I was like, yeah, grandma, like I just got hurt in PE or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I just need to make sure everything all right. She's like, CJ, that don't sound quite right. So I'm like, well, just don't say nothing to mom. So I was hurting for like a week, bro, before I finally got there. So I finally go get my pills and everything. So I get home, my mom's like, yo, so you went to the health department today? I'm like, yeah, we was in PE, we was hooping or whatever, and the ball hit me, my private area, so I just wanted to make sure. My mom was like, boy, stop lying. And I was like, mine? She was like, boy, what'd I just say? So she was I remember my mom, before I walked out of the room, she was like, yo, if you ever need to talk about something, just let me know. And that was that. My dad, the only thing he really ever said to me, I never forget, he was just like, he found some letters, and I remember this was like elementary school. He found some letters I had wrote telling this girl I had love her and this and the other. And my dad was just like, yo, like, wait until you see the world. Matter of fact, I put it in a poem. I said, wait till you see the world before you settle on Little Miss Devanya Williams. And that was all my dad ever said, because my mom and my dad were both in the military. So my mom and dad had both been around the world. Oh, yeah. But my dad was just like, yo, just wait before you settle on, whatever little girl you think you like, just wait till you been out here. That was it. That's all the conversations I ever had about sex through family or anything like that. Everything I learned, we learned from porn. We learned from friends. You know what I'm saying? We learned from experience. That's how it was for me. So that was completely, that type of thought process was completely foreign to me. And like, to your point, foreign to a lot of people in the black community. Same
here. That's what kind of got me exploring. And when you get into that porn world,
it's a whole.
You gonna see stuff you ain't even want to see. You like, oh.
It took me a minute to get out of that.
Yeah, that's another thing.
I was. Yeah. Let me see. I remember my mom found some of my magazines a couple of years ago, bruh. Like actually a few years ago when she moved, there was some stuff still under my bed from high school.
Oh no.
And I had some magazines under there, and she was like, yeah. Your sister pull your little magazines out. But I'm like, whatever. We grown now. But I know for me, starting in really middle school, magazines and stuff like that. Cause I have, you know, older cousins, they got a hold of some of the stuff. And then going into high school and college and even a little bit post-college, I was like porn all the time. And then I just was like, then it got to a point where I'm like, why watch porn when I can just go have sex?
Yeah, because you kind of get fed up. You're like, man, I got money, I got my own spot, I got a car.
Right. And so then after that, man, it was like I shedded porn, but then like you said, the sex.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here thinking, cause you like, yo, you had sex addiction. Like, I probably was addicted to sex. I just never really looked at it like that. And you know, now we're in a space, thankfully, that you know, therapy is more of a thing, and it's not so taboo as much as it used to be. But I probably actually needed therapy at some point for sex. I don't think I do now, or maybe if I do now, I need it for back then. But yeah, that's a real thing.
Real.
That's a real thing.
Real, man. I know. Man. Sometimes it got so real, which is like, I wouldn't do stuff, or I would cancel stuff, just so I could sit there. You know what I'm saying? So and it's like. And I know it's people worse than me.
Right.
It's people, everyday people, you know, that do stuff that you might know, they out here struggling, bro.
And you would never know.
You would never know.
Cause that right there is definitely behind closed doors.
You know what I'm
saying? In most cases.
And it's just like, so I feel like that challenge, it was kind of like, cause and everybody they can't afford therapy, or the whole process of therapy is weird. So if you one of those people, because I think I'm one of them people, it's like I'll go. Right. I don't mind going. I'm not afraid to go, but it's just like, if it ain't already set up, man, I ain't about to spend $100, bro. I need to eat, nigga. Right. How much? $100 an hour, nigga. I need help today.
Like, we can't get you in for 3 more weeks.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that 21 days, man, it'll help change your life. Right. For the average person, if you ain't got no money, you ain't got no excuses, all you gotta do is just stop. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, man, I was doing it with like 1,000 other men. So
wow. So there's accountability there as well.
Accountability, bro.
That's big.
And they started dropping, and the dude who was hosting it, he was dropping information. So I remember this one lady, and like this video he posted, she was asking a group of men, she was like, can you feel your penis? Like if you mentally imagine your toes, you can feel your toes. Right. But she was like, can you even connect to your penis? Wow. And I did, and I tried it, and I'm like, bro, I don't even know where my dick at.
That's crazy. I never thought about that before.
That's crazy. Like, are you really spiritually, mentally, emotionally connected to yourself? Right. Or is it out here on the web? To all these bodies and...
That's crazy, bro. I never, first of all, I never even heard of a Semen challenge. Yeah. I never even heard of there being a group of men or people in general that are accountable to each other for a particular thing surrounding sex like that, or even being in one with who you are and your body and things of that nature. I've never even heard of that. And I'm sitting here thinking, man, I'm going all the way back to my college days where, like, if I went 2 days without having sex, like, I'm like, yo, bruh, like I really felt like a fiend. Yeah. And I think that's kind of like even now in present day where I'll turn down sex, and I'll be like, nah, like I'm good. I don't want to. And it ain't like, oh, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna jack off or whatever the case may be. Like, nah, I don't want to. I'm good right now. And I can be like that for 2-3 weeks, whatever. It don't even matter to me. But I wasn't always like that. And I remember when I wasn't. I remember distinctly thinking, I remember it was my second year in college, and you talking about 21 days of a challenge of not busting. I went 21 days straight having sex. Like that was my challenge. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, I need to see how many days in a row I can have sex. And I had a team. I had a starting 5. And the reason I did that was because, you know, when one on their period or two on their period, then you got it. And so I literally like mapped this thing out, and I think it was like 20, I want to say it was 27 days in a row that I had sex.
You a bad man.
Thought I was a bad man. But then I realized later, like, what you doing, bro?
Yeah.
Like, what you doing?
Who just said that, John? J. Cole just had a verse about that. When he said something about you smashing all these girls till you find out you the thought. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing J. Cole.
Right.
Off the new album.
Right. And it's true, bro. It's true. And I know I'm not the only one, because out of my friends that I was like around at the time, or even in high school, it was some dudes I went to high school. It was in triple digits in high school. I know several. Matter of fact, I know a couple that was pushing triple digits in middle school.
Sheesh.
They started having sex in 4th grade, bro.
Yes. Yes.
And it's crazy because the parents, it was so hidden that the parents didn't, or anybody didn't talk to the young black man about these particular things. Like I wish I had this conversation when I was in college, because of where I was mentally with certain things, that would have changed my mind and been like, well, let me look at this from a different angle. And whether I did or didn't stop, I at least would have attempted the challenge. I'd have been open to it. But at the time, all I knew was, yo, I've been preparing for this moment for a long time. I'm in college. They down, I'm down, let's get it. And let's see how many days in a row I can do that.
I feel you, bro. I feel you. And it's like the older black men, go do it. That's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I know you got a couple little girls over there. Where they at?
Where they at? Let me see.
Right.
Okay.
And they still like that to this day, even being grown.
Still like that.
You pull up, I remember, I'll never forget, man. I had me and Donna from college, and her, we still real close friends to this day. She live in Fayetteville. But I remember when I took her back home, first time taking a girl home, you know, from college, and I remember we went to the basketball game, and older men, older peer, you know, kind of peers, everybody, yo, bro, like, they're like, yeah, well, you got your little something over there. Ain't nobody sitting me down like, hey, look, man, I see you got your little something with you, but blah, 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 blah. Or take these precautions, or, yo, don't do this, do that, da, da, da. Won't nobody hipping us to that.
They just let you go figure it out.
Just let you figure it out.
They let you figure it out, man.
That's crazy. I told a young boy not too long ago. How old is he? I want to say he's like 12. And I asked him like, "Are you a virgin?" He was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Stay that way for a while." I was like, "You ain't gotta be a virgin your whole life." I ain't saying wait till you get married neither, because I think that's crazy. But that's a whole nother topic.
That's a whole nother topic.
But I'm like, yo, like, wait for a while. He was like, why? I was like, because I wish that I had stayed a virgin until I was 30. He was like, why? I said, because I'd have been a multi-millionaire by the time I turned 30.
I'm glad you made that segue. I'm glad you made that segue, because if you look into these books like Think and Grow Rich.
Yep, got it at the house.
Way of the Superior Man. That's one you need. That one right there.
What's it called again?
The Way of the Superior Man.
Okay, all right.
I just read that, bro. And is it for men and women, for anybody? You gay,
Right.
straight, purple, green. That book will change your life. It'll take you up. What's another one that talk about these old, like the Carnegies, these niggas. Look, we getting raw up here now. Look,
Bro, you can say whatever you want. Trust me, there's been some raw stuff on the podcast.
Okay, bet. But yeah, these guys, they all know, these really rich people, they know that sexual transmutation is key to success.
Right.
It's a key to success. If you want to master your finances, you want to master your life, working out, discipline, you got to be in control of your sex.
Yeah.
You just can't be out here.
Can't.
And a girl hit you up just because she got a vagina and she look good, that you supposed to have sex with her.
Right.
Learn to say no. And as a man, a lot of it, especially like these older generations, like we was talking about.
Right.
What's wrong with you, boy? You should throw that thing out the frame. I be trying to have conversations with my dad about certain stuff, and I'm like, Dad, look, see, this is why
Right.
That's why you right here.
Right.
But it's like, I be trying to have conversations with my dad. He be like, "Oh boy, I would have put on a knob." And I'm like, "Yeah," but at the same time, nah, man. Like,
Yep. Because you ain't got to all the time.
you ain't got to, and you get more respect.
You do. But what's crazy on the flip side, and I've experienced this over the years as well, where women would get upset.
Oh yes.
Because they're so used to a guy who the guy was before, or those type of guys who they gotta get it. Like, yo, all right, it's there, let me get it. And I had a girl tell me one time, she was like, my pussy good? And I was like, yeah. She was like, well, when I offer it to you, you take it.
Damn.
Now, at the time, I was late, maybe like 27, 28.
Yeah.
And she was a little bit older than me, so she was like maybe 36 at the time. But yeah, she straight up, she was like, yo, when I offer it to you, you take it. You don't tell me no. And I was like, who you think you are? You know, who do you think you are?
You trying to fight?
Yeah, right. But I have had women that really like would push back on that. Like, what do you mean no?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, because I said no. Like, because if a woman tell me no, and I keep pressing it, and that's a whole nother issue.
That's a whole nother. Now that's rape.
That's
now
rape.
Now you raping and you sexually harassing and all this.
But nobody talks about women pressing guys out when we say no, and they still making those advances and things of that nature.
And a lot of women would say it openly.
Oh, most definitely.
Oh yeah, I rape niggas.
Most definitely.
Like, whoa. So yeah, bro. So yeah, I definitely tell girls no. I definitely, and then because it's like you learn that power. Kendrick Lamar. This dick ain't free.
It ain't free.
Okay, your pussy good, but look. Do you know what's on this dick?
Right.
You know what's happening over here?
Right.
I made your credit score go up.
Not the FICO score. Well, I had that in the form too. But it's true, man. And once you learn that power, it is for me, I know it's a freeing experience, because then I didn't need to feel like I needed that to make me feel like a man.
Yeah.
I didn't need that to make me feel even a certain way physically. Like, I started getting that orgasmic high off of other things in life that didn't even involve sex.
Yeah.
And I still enjoy sex like anybody else, but that's not the end all be all for me like it used to be. And I know, people my age, older and younger, that aren't at that point, but this conversation we don't have with each other. I can't remember last time I sat down and had a conversation about sex with another dude. You know what I mean? Because in most cases, that's uncomfortable. That's taboo. Like, we just getting to the point as black men where we can tell another black man we love him without feeling some kind of way. Right. But I think if those conversations are had, and yo, man, I promise you, like, I'm so glad I'm doing this podcast. Because I didn't know, the only reason I was like, yo, look, I need to network some more, and I like connecting people. I'm like, that's enough for me to have people on, talk to them. I'm not an interviewer, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But I was like, yo, let me make it just a casual conversation, and whatever comes out, comes out. But what I'm learning now, I think this is my 10th one that I've shot so far. What I'm learning is these type conversations that I've never thought about having, or that things I didn't know about people, or things I didn't realize about myself, then come out. And so when people are able to see that, then hopefully they have those conversations within their communities, or maybe somebody DMs you, or somebody reaches out to me, or whatever, and then those waves ripple out as far as they can go.
Ripple out, and that's what we do.
Got to, man.
That's what we do. Because I be learning stuff, man. It's like, I ain't learning it just for me.
Right.
I'm learning it so I can go out and tell people.
Yeah.
So they don't got to make the mistakes I made.
Because it speeds up the process.
Speeds up the process, man.
Speeds up the process. It's crazy, man, because I've only had a couple people on that I had, only had one person on that I had never met before until they walked through the door. And then I've had a couple other people that I had met like a week prior to actually filming with them. Then there's people like yourself that I know but we ain't never really like sat down and chopped it up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So all I know is Son of Simba, you know what I mean?
Paint.
Paint, you know what I mean? We work together on a show and all that good stuff. So it's good to be able to sit down and then hear about your background, but then not only that, but then we can talk about something that, you know, hopefully you can carry away from the conversation that helps you, something that I can carry away from the conversation that helps me. And then when it's out, people can really be like, yo, like we don't see two black men just sitting down having a conversation about these type things that actually need to be talked about.
Yeah.
And so hopefully that sparks a lot of conversation, but hopefully sparks a lot of action as well, man.
Yeah. I appreciate you having me on, man. This is dope.
I appreciate
it
you coming.
feels good.
Yeah,
It feels
good.
good to talk about these things on this platform, because I know you got a different audience that's gonna reach a whole bunch of different people that
hopefully
may need to hear this.
Right. Yeah, man. I just want to do good shit, man. No matter what it is, whether it's putting on a show, whether it's a conversation, whatever. I always want to make sure it's something good and tangible that somebody can take from it and be like, all right, let me change this in my life. I had a guy come up to me recently and was like, yo, I've been following you for a minute. I appreciate what you do because I write, but I don't perform ever. Never thought my words would hit stage, and maybe they won't. He was like, maybe they won't, but at least I know it's possible. I was like, yo, I appreciate it, yo.
Dope, man.
So, man, as we wrap up, man, so in the beginning, I asked you, who do you think you are? Now I'm going to ask you, as we close, who do you think you will be?
Sheesh.
you already felt it coming, didn't you?
Man, yeah. I feel like the conversation actually brought it out of me, man. I think I'm here to definitely inspire, to inspire, change the world, and help elevate our people, man.
Right.
Yeah, so I think I'm Ngozi, a blessing.
Ngozi.
Yeah.
What language is that?
Swahili.
Ngozi, to be a blessing.
I believe it's Swahili. It might be Nigerian dialect, but I think it's Swahili.
Right, we'll fact check that one.
We'll fact check it. Somebody African gonna hop in.
Right. Word. So to be a blessing, that's.
To be a blessing, man.
That's what's up, for lack of a better phrase. But I feel like that's very reachable, even without me knowing the ins and outs of your life like that. I feel like it's reachable just because you've been a blessing today. Because like I said, I sit in this chair and I'm always like, I want the person next to me to be able to take something away from it. I want the audience to take something away from it, but I also want to take something away from it. That's one of the spots where I am intentional about learning something. And so the fact that you've been a blessing today by coming through, I appreciate that. So yeah, I think you well on your way, bro.
I appreciate you.
Well on your way.
I appreciate you, man. It's helped me figure out. It's helped me figure out a lot.
Word.
A lot.
Word.
This conversation. It was like, usually the focus is art.
Right.
And it's like, yo, we barely even talked about art.
Yo, and it's crazy because somebody was asking about that. It was like, so you gonna have a bunch of artists on? And I was like, nah, I had thought about doing that, but I don't want to limit it to just artists. Yeah. It was like, okay, so what's the? I'm like, yo, like, who do you think you are? I was like, that's the name of it. That's what I'm gonna ask everybody in the beginning of the episode. And then it was like, so what you gonna concentrate on when you talking? I'm like, just humans being humans, yo, like just life. And so I feel like that really makes the conversations able to be as long as they are, because the shortest one I've had so far has been an hour. And just the clock in my head lets me know we're over an hour anyway. The longest one I've had a couple that were hour 45 minutes. But it allows for that, but it also allows for that comfortability, like you said. Yeah. So then people can open up and talk about whatever. Because if somebody knows you like I know you, they already know you do art. They already know you paint. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If somebody doesn't, y'all need to go check his stuff out, Son of Simba on Instagram.
Check me out, man.
But if somebody's watching it because they know you from your page, they already seen your art. They may have your art piece, you know what I'm saying? They may have worked with you, but they don't know you were in the military. They don't know you went to Central. They don't know you had a 21-day Semen fast. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just certain things that come out when it's just a conversation about whatever versus, yo, let's sit down for 15 minutes real quick during this commercial break in between the radio station and talk about what you got next coming up.
Right.
You know, like we get enough of that. And so I like where this is going. I like today. This was dope. So.
It's dope, man. We need to do a part 2 because we still got a lot. We got a lot we could talk about.
We definitely go hit a part 2. I ain't gonna stop. I'm gonna keep doing these. You know what I mean? So they're gonna go. This is, you know, episode whatever of however many thousand. You know what I mean? I'll be 50 years old still doing podcasts in the virtual world, I guess.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we definitely gonna get back on, man, and we'll rap about some more stuff too. No doubt. Yo, that's the end of the episode. Y'all make sure y'all hit the subscribe button, share it with somebody. Hopefully y'all took something away from it, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Peace.